when people come to deliver, most times they pull before they deliver. You will pack pull. Yes, you will. Before the baby comes out, you will do so. Sometimes you are trying to treat a patient, they will pee on your face. So what do you say? Do you say that, so if you don't see this as a calling, as a responsibility, the work will frustrate you. If you die today, they will bury you.
Of course.
They will come and eat rice in your house and life will continue. I mean, it is in Nigeria we see that you will die, they'll come and eat rice in your own house. You that died.
I mean, I asked myself, like, who started that culture, really?
We have people that are smart, you ask them questions and they don't want to raise up their hands. Some people see it as pride. You're trying to be proud, you don't want to feel like you're the most intelligent. My own came from identity crisis. Life itself does not favor people that are not bold. If you're not bold, you cannot do great things. I tell you, because really, life is not balanced. We have to understand that if life is balanced, the way everybody is seated here, people want to leave this country.
Hello viewers, and welcome to another inspiring episode of the Together We Nudge podcast, where we inspire you, where we educate you and nudge you towards becoming the best version of yourselves. Today I have a young, inspiring, and highly motivated individual here with me in the studio, and it's none other than Priscilla Ladan. You're welcome to the Together We Nudge podcast.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
And thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to be here today.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, so please introduce yourselves to our audience. We'd like to meet you.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much, viewers. My name is Priscilla Ladan, and I serve as the Director of Membership for the JPI Gombe State Chapter. I also serve as a team lead and executive director for Purpose Ignite Initiative, and also the founder of the Bloom Ladies Network, and an upcoming author, and also a practicing nurse. Thank you very much, Miss Ella.
That's amazing. Thank you very much for coming once again. So let's get right into it. But before then, what has your week been like? I know that you are I don't want to use busy for you, you're a very productive person.
Okay.
So what has your week been like lately? Is it busy as usual or it's a bit calmer?
Okay. It has been a bit calmer.
Okay.
Yes, and very productive. It has been a bit calmer and very, very productive, I would say. Yes, I also don't like using the word busy as it were. But for me, it has been a bit calmer because I think I had a leave from work. So I've had time to rest and process a lot of things and put a lot of things together. Thank you very
Fantastic. So what's one thing that has been on your mind lately in a very good way?
My upcoming book, of course.
Okay.
Yes, my upcoming book. My upcoming book, Breakout Young, is going to be released on the 15th of May, 2026. And so I've been in the process of getting it ready for the publishing and the release. And my upcoming outreach that is coming up in collaboration with Melody Guys Foundation on the 30th of May, where we're going to be feeding 1,000 children in the city of Gombe. So basically, these two things have been on my mind lately. Thank you.
Amazing. That's super amazing. So you're one person who has been involved in quite a number of spaces, from healthcare to leadership. You mentioned the JPI.
Yes.
I mean, JPI is big.
It is.
It is really big.
It is.
And I think if you're a young person and you are passionate about leadership and you don't know JPI yet, please go and find them out. JPI is, so from the many spaces that you work in, healthcare, leadership, community,
Yes.
how do you personally make sense of all these roles? How do you balance all of this together?
Okay. All right. For me, I think it all boils down to one thing, which is identity. Yes, I personally don't feel that I'm doing a lot of things because I know there is a confusion with the younger generation that when you're involved in a lot of spaces, it almost looks like you're in a competition with people, or they even tag you as jack of all trades. But for me, it comes down to my identity and my purpose. And I think I want to give this scenario. If you have raw rice, a grain of rice, and you plant rice, you plant it with the intention of feeding people. And then in that raw rice, you can get jollof rice, you can get rice and stew, you can get fried rice and every other thing you use rice to do. Yeah, even in the north here, they make masa with rice. At the end of the day, it falls down to one assignment to feed the people. So for me, I feel all these spaces that I'm occupied in falls out to my assignments. It falls down to my assignment. So even if I'm involved in the healthcare system, if I'm involved in community, if I'm involved in leadership, it boils down to one thing, my assignments. It's just my assignment finding expression in different areas. So even if I'm here, I'm there, it falls down to one thing, my assignments. And the moment, I'll just want to tell our viewers that the moment you begin to feel frustrated in a space, it means that you're actually not doing what you're supposed to do. Because, of course, the generation is growing, everybody wants to be out there, so everybody's trying a lot of things. And so if you begin to feel frustrated in a space, it can be that that space is not for you. But for me, I don't see all this as, it can look like it's tiring, it can look like you're doing so much, it can look like you're doing a lot of activities at different points in time. But for me, it's not, because I'm doing something, I'm impacting life.
Yeah.
At the core of it, it's my calling. It's me fulfilling my purpose, it's me fulfilling my assignments. So it doesn't come off as getting distracted or getting confused or trying to be in a lot of things because I just so want to be recognized. For me, at the core of it, impacting lives and fulfilling my purpose. Thank you.
Amazing. There is no such thing for a young person. For me, I believe there's no such thing as jack of all trades, because most young people are at the verge of discovering themselves, right? And to whom much is given, much is expected.
Exactly.
So if you have so much, why box yourself in a certain place? And you say that a lot of people are not willing to serve. They are not willing to give. So if you are that person with the desire to give, with the desire to serve, and you are confident enough to be out there, so why not?
Exactly.
What matters is do not lose yourself in the process. And yes, you said something about that. If you are in a place and you are feeling frustrated, you are either not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or I think sometimes it could also mean that you have outgrown that space. So it comes with outgrowing a particular place, comes with frustration as well. And that's why in all of this, especially for someone who wears many hats, you have to listen to yourself. You don't get so carried away being everywhere and you neglect yourself, so that you can know when the time is up in this particular area. That's fantastic. So when did you realize first that your life would involve serving? Because your life is a life of service, practically. So at what point did you realize that in different ways your life would involve serving people and not just one path?
All right. Thank you very much. I think for me, it came off as an awareness, as the things I began to do. It came off as an awareness for me, different spaces I was occupying. So, and for me, it started off when I was still in secondary school. I held so many leadership responsibilities while still in secondary school. So, and then I noticed that for me particularly, a lot of persons are attracted to me and I'm also drawn to people. Thankfully, my profession has also opened me up to such kind of, activities, such kind of finding to discover people and getting to know them more and more. So as I occupied and as I grew each space, like as I grew in every space, as I occupy each space, I realized that I'm not just called to just specific people. Okay, when you talk about my community of young ladies, okay, I can be called to specific ladies. But then when you come to leadership, you have to lead every gender, both the male gender, both the female gender. You cannot exclude them. So, and I think at the core of it as well, you also have to find yourself and understand what you are doing and where you have been called to serve in all these spaces. Because if you don't, you'll be feeding the wrong audience. You'll be feeding the wrong audience, your capacity, your potentials. And at the end of the day, you're not impacting lives. And then you also, your potentials are wasting. So it's just like you're giving out there, but then nobody is feeling your impact. So as I grew in all those spaces, I began to realize that, I am meant to, as I'm wearing so many hats and I'm meant to occupy so many spaces, I interact more with people. So from there and there, I began to realize that, okay, yes, I can actually not just, limit or box myself, just like you said, in just one space and focus my attention on just a particular person. Okay, just because I'm a nurse, focus my attention on my patients. No, if I can come out and then lead other people, especially young people, I can impact their lives more and more and more. So for me, it really came up as an awareness. And the more I grew, the more I became the better version of myself. I discovered that I am called to these people. Yes, ma'am.
Amazing. So there is something about, you talked about discovering yourself
Yes.
quite early
Yes.
from secondary school.
Yes.
So you realize that people are drawn to you,
Yes,
and you
yes.
are also drawn to
Yes, ma'am.
people. So your ability to leverage on what you have
Yes.
really, really matters.
Exactly.
And there's something I laughed because when you say young people,
Yes.
you're a young person yourself,
Yes.
and you're referring to young
Yes.
people. But it's quite an advantage for a young person reaching out to fellow young people,
True.
because they can relate.
Yes.
You are closer to them.
True.
So if you have a 50-year-old, for example, talking to maybe people in their 20s, you're like, you've had all the
Yes.
experiences. If you don't know it, I mean, but seeing a young person doing these things, you are challenged, you are
Yes.
inspired.
Yes.
So I remember I had an experience in 2022.
Okay.
So I've always been active all my life. In one of my episodes, I talked about
Yes.
how that somebody said, take it easy so you don't die. And I said, if anything happens to me, it's because I'm not doing anything. So that time, I went back to my secondary school and I was very active. Press club, literary and
Yes.
debates club. No one ever won me in a debate, actually.
Wow. I commend you. I commend you.
I was also very active in FCS.
Okay.
So that time I started to go around secondary schools, different secondary schools, you know. So one of those days I walked into this place and I met someone, the people who mentored me when I was in SS2.
Wow.
I met them there. Now, guess what was happening? The students were not cooperating. They were making noise, like almost like 300 students, because they were mommies and daddies. And because they don't understand the generation they are dealing with, they started talking to them about what you sow, you will reap. This. I walked in there. It made matter worse.
Yes.
She was our student. The same things we are telling you today is what you... at some point, I told them, Ma, can I speak to them?
Yes.
And they said yes. As simple as, can I have your attention, please? Everywhere was quiet.
Wow.
Why? Because they can relate. I mean, I think I just graduated then, and they were in senior secondary school, so they could relate.
They could relate
and then I started to share. And everywhere was quiet. When it was time for altar call, like they were challenged.
Wow.
So there is something about a young person reaching out to other young people. So never allow, in fact, a quote says, you know what I'm talking about, that do not allow anyone despise your youth, right? That is what we have in our scripture. So do not allow anybody to look down on you. Say because you are young, or because you are a female, or because of this, you cannot do that. Because that is where, as a young person, you have the opportunity to discover yourself, to make all the mistakes that you want to make, and to make as much impact as possible. So let's look into your healthcare and your leadership journey.
Okay.
So how has being a practicing nurse shaped how you see people and how you serve? I know that nurses are trained to be compassionate, right? And to be feelers. So how has this shaped the way you do your work, the way you see people?
All right. For me, I always tell people, I believe that nursing is a calling. Yeah. Beyond, if you're trying to find a career, and I'll tell this to the viewers, if you're trying to build a career in the pathway of nursing, just have it in mind that nursing is a calling. It's beyond just a job, because there is no amount of money that you will earn as a nurse or as a medical practitioner or as a healthcare worker that will compensate what you do. So for me, nursing came up as an opportunity for me to be sympathetic and empathetic. And then the way I relate with people, I cannot remove my nursing experience from it, because you relate with different people. You relate with different people from different race, from different capacities, and then you will have to learn.
Yes.
So I think for me, one of the things that happened to me was that when I was still a student nurse and we were going for clinical postings, I told myself that if I am going to serve these people, I am looking at myself tomorrow being on this bed, and I want to receive the kind of treatment I will give this patient. If you don't treat nursing as a calling, you will be frustrated. I'm sure that there's this thing about nurses, that nurses are rude, nurses are this, nurses are that. At the core of it are people that are frustrated because they are not looking at the profession as a calling. They take it more as, at the end of the day, they are waiting for their monthly salaries.
Right.
And if you don't take it as a calling, it can become a responsibility. And when something is not a responsibility, it doesn't become a service to you. So it means you cannot give out to people. So nursing has really shaped me with the way I relate with people, because you will have to learn, if you're in leadership, if you're in all the spaces I occupy, you will have to learn to love people.
Right.
They are not your family members. These people are not people that you see every day. Even your family members, you learn to love them. I mean, you can be fighting with your siblings, but then even as a nurse, some patients are rude. But at the core of your calling, why are you treating them? Some patients are not nice. Some patients don't even have money when they come to the hospital. So you have to learn compassion. You have to learn sympathy. You have to learn empathy. At the core of it, remember that beyond everything you are doing, you are serving the people. And nursing is also leadership. So people don't see it as that. Anybody that takes the responsibility of another person is a leader.
Right.
So anytime you see yourself serving in that capacity as a nurse, as a healthcare professional, look at the opportunity to serve people, because you will not know who you are dealing with. I remember as a student nurse, one of the clinical posting that I had this particular man that, we just were trying to do wound dressing. I was posted to the male surgical ward. And what they normally do in that ward is to treat wound, to make sure that the person is okay till the person is, wound cleaning and all. So I remember that I got so close to this man, very, very close to him, to the point where during Christmas, I'm a Christian, during Christmas, I had to leave my house because I've developed a relationship with him. I had to leave my house to take food for them. Now, these are people that can't celebrate Christmas because they are in the hospital. Then you, as their nurse, you have seen the need to help them. So why don't you do that? It's the same love we share to people. Oh, you share Christmas food, you share Salah food. So why won't I do that to my patients? So that has really helped me to love people even beyond the confines of my own home, my own biological home. So I can tolerate people, because you will see things. You will see things. The specialization of nursing I am in is midwifery. When people come to deliver, most times they poo before they deliver. You will pack poo. Yes, you will. Before the baby comes out, you will do so. So how do you do that? Sometimes you are trying to treat a patient, they will pee on your face. So what do you say? Do you say that, so if you don't see this as a calling, as a responsibility, the work will frustrate you. So you go to the hospital, you see some nurses, they are shouting, they are raking, You not be wondering what's wrong with them. Really, and they are still very nice nurses. They are still I will tell you the truth. They are still they exist. They exist. It's just that, they can be very few. And of course, we're hoping that the narrative changes. People begin to understand that nursing is a calling. I know that my fellow viewers who are nurses will also know that when we started nursing, they will always tell you that at the foundation of nursing, they will tell you that nursing is a calling. It's beyond a calling. When Mother Florence Nightingale started, she was seeing it as a calling. She was treating the soldiers. She saw it as a responsibility to treat the soldiers when they were sick. Beyond just, treating them because they didn't want to die. She saw it as a responsibility. So I see my profession as a responsibility, and it has also helped me and shaped my mentality on how to view people at large. So I don't struggle to relate with people, because if you're a leader, people management, you will have to learn it.
Yes.
You will learn it. Yes. Thank you.
So I believe that good nurses still exist. I have one with me right now.
Yes, you do.
So
You
of course.
Yes.
And there are some professions really that you should, if you just want to make money, I think you should not even near them. Do not near them.
Exactly.
I believe that medical professions, and also believe teaching. In fact, there was a point in my life where I said that if I have the opportunity, because I work with children and young people, teenagers more.
Yes.
I say that I am never going to take anyone who wants to make money. And to be honest, I have questions that I'm going to ask you that would unravel if you really, really want to make money. And I also tell myself that, you see that thing of paying teachers peanuts, it's not going to happen with me, because I understand that these ones are shaping lives. They are giving so much. So as much as you're going to get the money, if that is what you came for, you will not get it from me, because these are very I'm looking for the word now, but this position is not something that you just occupy and you can just get away with it, because that mistake that you make with that child, or in your case with that patient, you've seen some people, they are so careless, they're so lackadaisical with their duties, and they've even created more problems for the patients. So you need a heart when you are serving these people. You need a heart. So it is not a job, and even if it's a job, then do your job. Do it well.
Do it well. You're getting paid for it, so do it well.
Why are you doing it
Yes.
anyhow? So, but from all these things that you explain, I now understand where the frustration
Yeah,
is coming
yeah.
from. But the frustration only comes because they don't see it as
Yeah,
a calling.
yeah.
But for those who see it as a calling, okay, I signed up for
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it will be worth it at the end of the day.
Because sometimes you'll be stressed beyond your own personal shifts. They are patient that when they get so connected to you, they'll tell you, ma, please don't go and leave me. Even if the next person in charge comes, they'll tell you, please don't go and leave me. That connection is there.
Yes.
So if you see it as just a job, you cannot even develop that connection with the patients to the point of developing that relationship. And even the hospital, like I said, you will help people. Sometimes your money will go into the treatment of a patient. Some people genuinely don't have. And you have. If you have, why can't you help?
Right.
So
Why
if you
don't
don't
you
see
help?
this, all this as trying to get to one place, you are going to be frustrated at the end of the day. Yes, ma'am.
So, across all the capacities you lead and
Yes,
you
ma'am.
serve in, because I know you are both a servant
Yes.
and a leader,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So, what has been the most stretching season for you so far?
Okay. So there are so many seasons that will stretch you as an individual. And since this question is directed to me, I'll say for me, it's growth pressure. Because as a leader or as somebody that is serving in different capacities, you have to grow. You have to level up to the people you are leading. You have to you have to constantly keep on growing. And growth will stretch you. It will it will stretch you to the core. Because whilst you're sleeping, you're thinking of how to become a better individual.
Yes.
Whilst you're trying to, you can just be comfortable, but if you want to grow really, you cannot be comfortable. And growth is not comfortable. Growth itself is not comfortable. So I would say for me, one of the things that stretches me the most is growth pressure, because you will have to go. You're in a space where you're trying to serve the people, you're trying to lead the people in a right way. And the more you grow, the better you lead. So if you don't grow, you are limited to the way that you're going to lead the people. And at the end of the day, we are trying to lead these people so that they can become the better versions of themselves in turn.
Yes.
And so you cannot give what you don't have. So you have to grow, and this growth requires stretching. Like I said, it's not comfortable. Sometimes you'll be drained financially because of course you pay for classes, you pay for courses, you will travel out so that you will gain the knowledge and gain the experience to come and impact the lives of these people.
Yes.
Sometimes, even as an individual, mentally you are drained, emotionally you are drained, you are stretched, and all these things you're trying to make sure that you're keeping yourself in check. You're keeping yourself in check to make sure that you're becoming the better version of yourself. So for me, I would say really it's growth pressure. Growth will stretch you. And if you make up your mind, to our viewers there, if you make up your mind that you want to be somebody that will be out there, just know that you'll be stretched on all fronts. Because leadership is not positions and titles.
No.
It's not. It's responsibility with service.
Yes.
So at the core of it, know that for you to become an effective leader, you will have to grow for the people. There's a quote that we always say that you cannot give what you don't have. So imagine that, okay, I'm a leader. You don't know anything about leadership. You don't know anything about people management. You don't know anything about emotional intelligence. You don't even know how to manage the people. When chaos is going on in your office, when there is no system and structure in place, how do you want to lead the people? So for me, I think it's growth pressure. And if you see stretching as a way to become the better version of yourself, you become comfortable in learning.
Yeah.
Because if you see it as, okay, I'm stretching, it's uncomfortable, you'll be frustrated at the end of the day. But if you see it more of, I'm trying to get to the better version of myself, it becomes more like a responsibility with service.
When we talk about leadership,
Yes.
As a leader, you are not only leading people, you
True,
are
you're
also
leading
leading
yourself.
yourself. So it comes with lots of sacrifices
True,
as
true.
well. The price you have to pay to constantly always improve on yourself.
Yeah.
Because when I started this thing, in fact, I am a behind the scene person, to be very honest. I don't like the spotlight. I don't like publicity. But when I found out that this is a calling, this is my assignment, this is what I'm born for, there was something that I told God. I said, God, I understand the gravity of leading younger people. I said, I don't want to give them a path. I want to know your path for them, because I
Yes.
believe that
Yes.
for everyone, there is a path, there's a preordained
Yes.
pathway, there is
True.
a destiny,
True.
there is something that they're created for.
True.
I said, God, I do not want to give them what I think is
Yeah,
right, but
yeah.
what it is that
Yeah.
you want for them.
Yeah.
And then it dawned on me that this is going to come with lots and lots of sacrifices.
Sure.
Is it places you cannot go to?
Exactly.
Is it conversations you cannot have?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's stretching.
Yes.
Somebody tagged me in a post yesterday. I cannot even reshare
Yes.
it. She said it has to do with when they do, you do them back. All of
Yeah.
us will go to God
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
mend us. And I'm like, I can't do that.
Exactly.
Because that would be me doing something different
Yes,
from what I'm
yes,
preaching.
yes, yes.
You gather these people together, you tell them, do this, do that. And you think we don't cry? You think it doesn't hurt us?
Exactly.
Because sometimes the weight of leadership is so heavy.
It is.
The responsibility is so heavy.
It is.
You cannot, are you going to break down in front of the people you are leading? And that is why I would always say, in all of this, I have my people. I have my
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
I'm the one that I can just, I don't need you to advise me. I
Yeah.
just want to talk to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I just want to offload what is
Yeah,
on my
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
And also, you should have mentors.
Sure.
And I'm not really in JPI
Yeah,
yet,
yeah.
but I know that JPI gives you that platform as well.
Opportunity, yeah,
So
yeah.
you have people that you can always reach
Look up
out to,
to. Sure,
people you are looking
sure,
up to that can
sure.
help you. Because really, you see that growth pressure, it's there. Because a
there.
time will come when even the people that you are leading, they want to see that thing that you are telling them.
They will question it though. They will question it.
So
You're
if
always
you know-
attending classes. You're always traveling, and if it is not showing, they will ask themselves.
Of course, they will.
Okay,
And
they
that could
will.
even be discouraging for them. They
Exactly.
don't want to follow their
Exactly,
that path
exactly.
because people really want to
True.
see the impact of what you are teaching
True.
them. Okay, so were there times, is this even a question? I wanted to ask if there were times when you felt overwhelmed by the weight of the responsibility that you carry. So let me change it. How do you manage overwhelm? How do you burn out, and how do you manage that?
Good question. Good question. All right. I said it earlier, if you make up your mind that you want to be out there, you will face trials and tribulations. You will face it. And there is something called the burden of leadership that every leader should know. It's called the burden of leadership. And if you're out there in that space of leading people, serving other people, you will get overwhelmed. We just finished talking about stretching, growth pressure, and all. You will get overwhelmed. I will not even lie. So to everybody out there, that looks at people, you're just happy. You see them shining on the stage. You think that everything is going well. They are calling their titles and position. You're saying, God, when? My dear, there is something called the burden of leadership. And before I will answer that question, I think I'll relate it to a story. Last month, I was at JPI Youth Convention in the city of Abuja, and Global President Dr. Jimmy came and gave his opening speech, and he spoke about the burden of leadership. He spoke about, and he said something. He said that a lot of us are just seated right here, kitted up in our suits, and we're just smiling and smiling and smiling and smiling. And he said something that deep down within us, there are people that are seated right here. They're thinking of family. They're thinking of their husbands. They're thinking of their next project. He was talking, and then I was seated close to a lady, and she just busted into tears. I mean, this lady was looking amazing. When she came, we introduced ourselves, we connected. And I didn't know, when he just started that session, she started crying. Like, she just busted into tears. And I could hear people from behind also just busting into tears. So the session came like a session where, you're just trying to relieve yourself, you're unwinding. A lot of people just felt like, somebody understands me.
Yes.
So, and he just spoke to the heart of many people. I think at some point I had to hold her hand and just tell her that it's going to be well. And she felt better. So I think the burden of leadership should be explained to the people out there, that in as much as you want to be out there, prepare for it. But it doesn't mean that because there's a burden for leadership, we'll stop. No. And which is why I'm getting to how I'm able to get over this thing. Most importantly, you mentioned something about a community, right? For me, I leverage on my community. My mentors, I leverage on my spiritual leaders.
Yes.
I speak to them. I have a community of friends. As a leader, you cannot do life alone.
Yes.
I also leverage on the people that I lead. And before you leverage on the people that you lead, you need to develop a community. You need to develop a relationship with them. There are times that you cannot do everything by yourself. Learn to delegate responsibilities.
Yes.
Learn to delegate responsibilities. In turn, delegating responsibilities as the leader will help you to ease off some things. And then for the people you're delegating those responsibilities to, you're making them to become the better versions of themselves. So they're also stretched. So don't don't leverage on people, especially your mentees or people that you're leading, because you want them to serve you or because you want to feel like their boss. No, leverage on them with the mindset that I want to impact them positively. So for me, the first and most important thing is my community. Like I mentioned, my mentors, my spiritual leaders, my friends, the people around me, the people I lead. So when people come to meet me, especially for mentorship, on when I see the opportunity to lead people, the first thing I tell them is that look at me as your elder sister. Let's have that connection first.
Yes.
If you have that connection, it is easier for me to relate better with you. So from there, people will be around you. When people are around you, life becomes better.
Yes.
But if you're the only one doing this, you're the system, you're the structure, you're the everything, you're the execution,
Yes,
you're the
exactly.
planning, you will get drained. Your body is not firewood. You will get drained. At different points in time, you will break down.
Yes.
You will break down. Even at that, some people still break down. So which will take me to the next. What do you do next? Learn to rest.
Yes.
It is important. Now, rest for the leader is not sleeping. Rest for the leader is that I'm taking out time to go and build systems, to go and build structures, to go and be productive. So anytime I rest, you can just take out some time, because when you tell people to rest, they think sleep 24 hours and that will be fine. Life will continue. Life will not wait for you to be sleeping. Things will become better. And if you don't become better, you cannot make things better. So when I talk about rest for the leader, is that take out some time, shut the noise off, take out some time, be productive. It's just like you're filling a car. When you go to refill a car, and then it has a specific time when the fuel is going to be enough for you. By the time it's over. So you still have to go and refill again.
Yeah.
So for you as the leader, as you keep on, being productive for yourself, you have a time frame where those things you're saying, that your message, if you don't learn to go and improve on that your message,
Yeah.
it becomes a normal thing.
Yes.
And especially if you're leading young people love to be hearing new things. It can be one thing, but as much as you're changing the language, changing the grammar, they will listen to you. But if you only have one message there and there, people will get tired because they want to move by what is happening. And you will have to learn to work with people from the level they are and bring them up. So productivity is rest for the leader. Take out time, ask yourself intelligent questions. I do that a lot. I converse with myself. I just take out time to rest. Shut the noise. Life will continue. If you die today, they will bury you.
Of course.
They will come and eat rice in your house and life will continue. I mean, it is in Nigeria we see that you will die, they'll come and eat rice in your own house. You that died.
I mean, I asked myself, like, who started that culture, really?
You will die, they'll come and they will bury you. And they'll come and
they'll
eat rice.
come back to the person's house to eat.
After 3 days, they have forgotten about
Of
you.
course.
After that 3 days prayer, they have forgotten about you. Your titles, your position, that's why Masmuro will say that the richest place on earth is the graveyard.
Yes,
because
yes,
people
yes,
die
yes,
with
yes.
a lot of things.
Exactly.
So productivity, go back, rest, just sit down, ask yourself intelligent questions. Am I doing well? Okay, strategize. Because sometimes the reason why you're feeling burnout is because you have outgrown a place, just like you said earlier. So ask yourself, how do I become better? Strategize, build more systems, build more structures. In that rest period, of course, take out time to sleep and also rest your brain. Your mental state is very, very, important. And at the core of it, make sure you're talking. Don't just hot things, because we have a way of, I want to just, box off, I'm fine, I'm okay. Talk. You're a leader. You're at the leadership, at the core of being a leader, you're still a person. You're not any superior person. You didn't fall from any planet. You still came from this planet Earth. It's just by privileges and by opportunities, you have grown yourself to be in that particular space. So make up your mind to have that strong community of people that you're always consistently talking to. So for me, these are the two areas I leverage on most importantly.
Okay, you mentioned that whenever you have the opportunity to lead people, I love first you see it as an opportunity.
Yes.
It's not some right or privilege.
Yes.
And another you said what you do is you ask them to see you as an elder sister. If you are familiar with the education field, you know that they like to call people miss.
Yeah.
I stopped it. I tell you to call me Auntie Ella.
Yeah.
So that it can build a sense of belonging. You feel connected to me, because when you call me a Miss Ella, okay, Miss Ella, we cannot really approach her. But when you call me an auntie and then I see people, why are you calling her auntie? Is she your auntie? And I say, yes, I'm her auntie. I'm his auntie, so that he would be free. And then there's another thing that I do. It is, how are you? Don't tell me you're fine.
True.
Tell me everything. How are you? Sometimes I'll go, how are you spiritually? How are you mentally? How are you emotionally?
Yeah.
For some guys, I'll be like, who is that boy that is talking to you?
Exactly.
So let us talk about
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
Let's talk about everything, because at this thing that we are doing is service.
True.
And another thing that you talked about is, you see, when we talk about leadership,
Yeah.
when we talk about giving, it comes with so much responsibility,
Yeah.
and you need to rest.
True.
You need to, the part I want to emphasize on
Yeah.
again is delegating responsibility.
Yeah.
Some people are they want to be everywhere.
You will get tired.
I'm very lazy.
You will get
I'm
tired.
not lazy, but I'm very lazy. I don't hesitate to delegate tasks.
Yeah.
I don't, because I can't do it by myself.
Exactly.
And the best way for you to even lead these people is to give them responsibility.
True.
Not just sit there and be speaking English with them every time. Why do you always want to be? Sometimes just be behind the scene and let them do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will get tired. And
You
like you
will.
said, in Nigeria, if a person dies, or go to person's house, they will eat food and they will go back home. They'll look for the next person. So don't kill yourself.
True.
Delegate responsibility. In delegating responsibility, you are recharging, you are refreshing, and these people are also learning, and you are making things better for each other.
Yeah.
So let us look at your motivation and your inner drive, because this thing comes with inner motivation.
True.
If you are not feeling like it's on the
Yes.
inside, you cannot produce. So looking at your consistency, because you are a very consistent person, and your visibility, what keeps you going?
Okay. I'll still go back to the first question I answered about how I make sense of everything. I'll go back to purpose. Most importantly, why are you doing the things you are doing? Why am I doing the things I am doing? If I have the why, it will guide me on everything I'm doing. It will guide me on why, you can just be very, when things get so much, you can be overwhelmed.
Yes.
But when you come back to why are you doing this?
Yes.
You get motivated and ask yourself, okay, I started this because this and this is happening. It's just like a school system. Will you drop out of school because you're tired? A lot of people, you're just there. You don't have money, you're in school. You're broke, you're in school. The lecturer is frustrating. You will still go back to his office tomorrow. If it's not your fault, you'll still be begging the lecturer.
Even the people that say they have anger issues, when they get to their project
they will calm
supervisor,
down.
it will calm down.
If you like be insulting people in the hostel, if you meet that, you will calm down.
Yes.
Because you're looking for something.
Yes.
So at the core of it, I want to impact lives. I want to see people becoming the better version of themselves. Really, we see a lot of things happening online, and we don't just assume that people know it all. There are a lot of people that are living not in the reality of what the people that know what they are doing know. So don't just assume that a lot of people know it. A lot of young people are just carrying their phone, scrolling online. They don't have direction. They don't know what they want to do. You can be speaking with a 30-year-old man. He doesn't have plans for his finances. He doesn't have plans to become the better version of himself. All what is in his mind is, let me finish school, serve, at the core of it, let me just get 1 2-room apartment, marry one woman, and that is all. No purpose, no drive. So when you're out there, it's easier if all of us are in that space. We are like-minded. Life becomes easier. Life becomes better. Life becomes easier. So I look at it as, okay, I have to impact a generation. Why did I start at the beginning? I have to impact a generation. I mean, if I'm the only one that know what I'm doing, there is a problem. There is a problem. So, and at the core of it, purpose is impact. As I'm fulfilling my purpose, I see it as a responsibility to also impact the people around me.
Yeah.
So you will get tired. Consistency is not easy. Trying to be showing up is not easy. There are days that you will finish crying, but you will mask up and come out and speak to the people. Consistency is not easy. Showing up is not easy. But why do we do the things we do? There is a drive behind.
Yes.
And for me, it always falls down to purpose. It always falls down to my identity. Why am I doing this? I know that there's a generation that needs to be restored. There's a generation that needs to be impacted. There's a generation that needs to do better. So if we have to keep on doing the work, we have to stay consistent. Yes.
Fantastic. So you are a faith-driven person
Yes,
as well.
yes.
So can you talk about the role that your faith has played in what you do?
Okay. Thank you very much. So at the core of my identity is my faith. Because I tell people there is no identity without a deity. Before you can discover who you are, you always fall back to your God, your creator. So if you tell me that you don't know what you want to do in life, I tell you as an individual, as a person, go back to your maker. Masmuro said something that if the purpose of a thing is not known, that abuse is inevitable.
Yes.
Meaning that, and for you to know the purpose and why you are here, you always fall back to your God.
Yeah.
And for me, my identity came from my faith, understanding who I am in
Yeah.
Christ Jesus, understanding the finished works of Christ, understanding what Christ has done for me on the cross of Calvary, understanding that I've been called into a family and then there is no limits to my greatness. That is where my identity came from. So this is the root of why I do the things I do. Because my Jesus Christ was an excellent person. My Jesus Christ went about the world preaching and impacting every other person. So at the core of my identity, this is my faith. So at the end of the day, if I get overwhelming, my strength will always come from my faith, going back to God. Even when we spoke about the burden of leadership, my spiritual leaders will always tell me that when you feel tired, always go back to God.
Yeah.
Because that strength will come from Him. You cannot do it all by yourself. There are times that all the encouragement that you need, there is a kind of encouragement that will only come from your Creator. That only come from God.
Yeah.
So at the core of my identity, I would just want to say that it is my faith. Understanding who I am, understanding my identity, understanding where I can fall back to at my weakest point, at the point where I feel like I'm doing best, at the point where I need help, at the point where I need clarity, it will always go back to my faith.
Yes. We are created
Yeah.
by a God.
Yeah.
And the best person who has the manual for your
Yeah.
life is God.
True.
The person who created a pen
Yeah.
knows why he created the pen,
Yeah.
and he knows the ingredients.
yeah.
And the best person, if everyone else has tried to fix that
Yeah.
thing and they're unable to, take it to the manufacturer
true.
because he knows the content. And even if he can't fix that particular one, he has a replacement
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
So as a purpose-driven person, you can't take God
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah. You can't.
You cannot.
You can't.
Okay. You are a very confident person.
Yes.
This is my second time sitting with you.
Okay.
The first time was during JPL. We're on the panel
Yes,
together.
yes.
I was like, this lady is bold. This lady is confident.
Thank
And
you.
she is very learned.
Yes.
So let's talk about how has this always been your personality, or is this something that you developed over time?
Okay. It has not always been my personality.
I was expecting
No. I was a very shy person.
Oh.
I was a very shy person. I think in my secondary school, I wasn't as bold as I am now. I used to be very smart. I am still very smart. And then, in class, we have people that are smart. You ask them questions and they don't want to raise up their hands. It did not come as some people see it as pride. You're trying to be proud. You don't want to feel like you're the most intelligent. My own came from identity crisis. My own came from low self-esteem. It came from that. And I just discovered that as I was growing, I discovered that life itself does not favor people that are not bold.
Yes.
Life itself does not favor people that are not bold. If you're not bold, you cannot do great things. I tell you, because really, life is not balanced. We have to understand that if life is balanced, the way everybody is seated here, people want to leave this country. You can choose where you want to stay. You can choose the family you want to come from. But as it is, we are here. But you can find life for yourself. You can actually find life for yourself and make life to fall according to how you want to live it. That decision is in your hands. So for me, it was growth. I took a journey of personal development. In that personal development, I took a journey of self-discovery. I took a journey of discovering my identity, discovering my purpose, and also growing. I tell people around me, I say the difference between where you are today and where you'll be tomorrow will be your decision to grow. And in my upcoming book, Breakout Young, I spoke about growth a lot. I told young people rather that if you want to be the better version of yourself, it is possible. Everybody you see on the face of the earth today, they made one decision, which is growth. It was one decision that they made, which is growth. If we see people, we admire them. We see Dangote, we admire him. We see Bukwa Wusika, we admire her. You see all the great people, you admire them. Some of them didn't necessarily come from a background that favored them. Some of them didn't really come from a background that made them look like they were going to make it. Some of them were not physically okay. Some of them didn't have the courage they have today. But then there's a thin line between your success and also who you are today, and that is growth. So that journey of growth for me was very important. I took that journey of personal development and growth very, very important, because really, if you want to become somebody tomorrow, you have to grow. And also you have to grow for your generation. So at the core of who I am today, the impact I am making, the confidence and every other thing, I learned it. It is as
Yes.
important as that. I learned how to speak. I will stand in front of mirror and practice how to speak to the audience. It's growth. You will learn it.
Yes.
I tell people that you can learn how to dress.
Yes.
I tell people if you're still dressing 5 years ago and still sagging your trousers, after 5 years, you're not growing. You can learn how to dress in your growth system. You can learn how to, a lot of things will align. Even as a spiritual person, you can grow spiritually.
Yes.
Even when it comes to, writing, developing yourself, you can still learn. If at this era you're still writing, you're still doing shorthand chats for me, I will not respond to your message.
Honestly, GUD,
Good
MRN, like you and
really in this era. 5 years ago you were still that. This year you're still no. It doesn't show that you're growing. It doesn't show that you're growing.
Yes.
And I tell people that see, you can be all that you want to be. All that you want to be. If you see a great person you admire, you can be that person, even more than that person. But then at the core of it, make sure that you're growing. So for me, it was growth and personal development. Yes.
At the end of the day, whatever choice you make, the world will be fine.
True.
If you choose to be a non-entity, the world will be fine. That's the truth. And if you choose to break barriers, the world would also be fine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why would you choose to be anyhow when you can actually choose to be a remarkable, like to be a force to reckon with? And there is no such thing as, oh, the way I was born or the things that, like, stop giving all those excuses. I was very... in fact, if they were looking for an ambassador of a timid person, even till now, I love my space so much, but I wouldn't say that I'm timid anymore. But it's just something that I have gotten used to. I love my space, but I used to be very timid. I would know it, but I will never say it because I don't want my voice to be heard. I won't even greet you because I don't want you to hear my voice, not because I'm proud. But at some point, I tell myself... You see this life that you say you want to have, if you continue like, see, people will rob, they will rob you, they will march on you.
Exactly.
Because like it can even be very annoying. The kind of positions that you're supposed to occupy, they'll give you something lesser because you can't talk. Because you can't speak. And then these things of, oh, because I cannot speak English with any accent that you have. Start with that. But learn, groom yourself. I will take a newspaper. I'll be reading news to nobody.
Wow.
I'll hold torchlight.
Yes.
Because I had to learn how to hold a microphone. Because I remember then that some people hold the microphone wrongly. They hold it like this. Or like, so I will use that microphone. I will use, a torchlight. I would use it to learn how to hold, even how to walk on heels. Because I love to wear heels. So you're not doing anyhow. Maybe you are walking into and then you are calling attention to yourself. Because that thing that you desire, learn it. There are so many videos online out there. I remember when I was in school, if you take my phone, you cannot find it interesting. I love makeup. If I have an occasion that demands to get makeup, but I don't know how to do makeup myself till today, and I don't feel like I'm missing out in life because that's not my interest. When you check my phone and you see Barack Obama videos, you see Miles Monroe, I'm just learning how do you talk, because I know that this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. And no matter how you tell me that this field is better, I am not going there because I cannot do it. That's not my preference. So whatever it says, our dear viewers, young people, the life that you choose to live today should be driven by your purpose. You see, this thing of identity, this thing of discovering yourself, you can't joke with it.
Exactly.
So that you're not going to get lost in the crowd. If this is working, you will run there. If they say it is that. Have you heard somebody who says that I can marry anybody? I was very young. When I heard, I'm like, did you say you can marry anybody? The person said yes. I said, that's such a big word for me. Like, you mean you can spend the rest of your life with anybody?
And also, I think that some persons, I think that young people, we are also young people. Don't be shy of your growth. Some people are shy the fact that, just like you said, you were carrying torchlights. Somebody will not do that. Why will I do that? There are times that I call my friends, I tell them, okay, watch me speak, watch me do this. When I go to speaking engagements, I tell my friends intentionally, watch how do I do better? So some people don't want to even be corrected. And I think, it comes with the young age and anything. But really, if you want to be out there, you want your name to be on those platforms, you want to make notable progress, you will have to learn to be corrected. Don't be shy of your growth. And document every process. There was a time they were doing some kind of meme established English. I don't know whether you remember.
Yes, yes,
They'll
yes, I
just
do.
look at your picture from some years back and they'll bring you what was happening. It's growth.
Yes.
Really, it was funny, but for me, I saw it as, oh, if this person can be this in this particular year, and in this year, this person can be this, something happened. And what is that? It's growth.
It's growth.
So I tell young people, don't be shy of when you are growing. Yeah.
So you mentioned that an event that you read a lot,
Okay.
and it reflects in how you think
Yeah.
and how you speak.
Yeah.
So how did you develop the habit of reading, and what advice would you give to people who are struggling to begin a habit of reading?
Okay. So I tell people that if you want to read, why do you want to read? People are reading. I mean, we have books here. So why am I reading? Do I want to read because at the end of the day, I want to feel like I've read 150 books per year? You know, that's the vibe.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people will snap pictures with books.
Yeah.
In your mind, you'll not be thinking.
Yes.
Yesterday, a lady came to meet me and she told me that she has been listening to this podcast on atomic habits. So the way she was quoting some things from the book, you would think that she has read the books. So she was now trying to tell me that, oh, that she doesn't read, oh, like she can just get the summary of the book online and she's good to go. That's what she told me. So you can be seeing somebody talking. I can be talking, you'll be thinking, oh, I'm reading. Just assumption. Oh, I'm reading. You don't know that what the person is doing out there. Maybe the person has gone to listen to 3 minutes review on the book. So ask yourself, why are you reading? And I think I mentioned in that event that I read because I don't know much and I want to know more. And I don't have all the time. I believe that I am still young and I can learn a lot. I'm still a single lady. I've not gotten married yet. When you marry, it comes its own, when you marry, it comes its own responsibility. So you have all the time to learn what you want to learn now. So, and if there is no limits to what you can learn. So don't say because I'm young, let me learn small. When I marry, I will learn small. When I'm at 50, I will learn small. That's a mistake that we make. If you have the opportunity, learn all what you want to learn now.
Yes.
You can learn it now. You're not in a rush where just learn it, just calm down. You'll be so much wiser. You will have so much. They will look at you and be like, the way you are speaking, it looks like you are very matured. I enter into spaces and people think that I am up to 30 years. I am not up to 30 years. I'm in my mid-20s. And then when people speak, they tell you that, oh, you look like somebody that has... No. It's as a result of the information that I get.
Yeah.
So I see reading books as, okay, I don't know much and I actually want to know more. Because for the people that I have in my space, for the people I'm leading, for the kind of things that I do, I have to learn.
Yeah.
Even after graduating as a nurse, as a nursing student, I still had to go back to my books because you have to improve in knowledge. Healthcare system is improving day after day. What the practice of healthcare 2 days or 3 days ago cannot even be the same now. Every day is improving. It's improving, and improving. So ask yourself, viewers, why are you reading? Are you reading to, feel like I am on top of the world, or you're reading because there is a knowledge gap that you need to fill?
Yeah.
Then for the habits that I developed, I tell people that goals are not enough. Okay, beginning of the year, I want to read 12 books, each books every month. That looks like it's possible. But how do you achieve those goals? I am more anytime you have a goal, I'll say, oh, beautiful. How do you want to achieve those goals? So I give a simple hack to my mentees. I tell them, if you want to read a book of 50 pages in a month, ask yourself, how many pages can you read per day? Okay, how many days do we have in a month? We have 30 days. You want to read a book of 50 pages. Divide that 50 with 30.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, okay, from there you will know how many pages you can read per day. Sometimes it's to be half a page. Okay, half a page. How many lines can you read with half a page? When you break things down into smaller bits, it becomes easier. Those smaller, tiny habits you are ignoring every day, it is what is compiling every day to make sure that you are working towards achieving your goals. So I tell them that, okay, break it down. When you break it down, at the end of the month, they are excited because they have read the book that they are thinking they cannot read. So it's not just about having goals. Have you set systems and structures in place to help you to read? Now we have broken down the books to smaller bits. You know that, okay, part of your reading you want to read in the morning time. And in the morning time, some persons can't do without their phones. When they wake up in the morning, the first thing that they do is that they check their phones. And if you know you're still struggling with that habit and you know that you want to improve, don't sleep with your phone.
Yes.
So you know that the first thing you're doing, you're not touching your phone. The first thing you're doing is, let me look for, if you want to pray, you want to read your Bible, you want to read your Quran, the first thing you're looking out for are those things, not your phone. So with time, as you develop that character, it becomes a habit. So you don't no longer look for your phone. Okay, I know that I have to read 2 pages of my book before I step out to work every day. I'll carry my book, I'll carry what I want to read that morning and read. By afternoon time, by so time, I know that I am reading. Before I came here, I saw that Miss Ella had put a reminder on her phone. That is a structure. That is a system that I am setting in place. Because you will forget. Your mind is not meant to remember a lot of things.
Yeah.
You will forget. So the first thing is your why you are reading the book, and the second thing are the smaller bit systems you're putting in place to ensure that you're actually achieving those goals, and then even building those daily habits. Then you will know that if you want to be an impactful person, you know that it's not everything that is for you. If I find myself in a discussion, for example, I have a goal, I find myself in a discussion, I know that I need to read, and the discussion, I will just open my phone, open my tab, and I read. We'll be shouting, yay, we're laughing, we're gisting, but my mind is somewhere else because I have a target. So even if you find yourself in places you're not supposed to be there, use that as an advantage, because there are times that you don't even want to be there, but you have to be there. So what do you do there? There are times that during my shifts I don't do anything. Will I just waste it? No, I won't waste it.
Yeah.
Take advantage of everything.
Yeah.
And then there is something that helped me over time. Is something that has worked for me, and I would love to share to our viewers. You see, people complain that 24 hours is not enough. They complain 24 hours is not enough, we don't have time. And I tell people, today is the 5th of May, 4th or 5th? 5th of May. I tell people that the 6th of May will start from 12 a.m. But some people 6th of May will start from 6 a.m. I don't know that you understand. So make up your mind that 6th of May starts from 12 a.m. So everything you have to do on the 6th of May should start from 12 a.m. But some people's 6th of May will start from 6 a.m. in the morning. That's when they have woken up. Do you know that you've wasted 6 hours? It's good to sleep, don't get me wrong. It's actually good to sleep. But when you have that in mind, it keeps you motivated. So I begin my day very early. I plan my life and I begin my day very, very early. Because I know if I'm talking about 6th of May, and if you remove 6 hours from 24 hours, that's 18 hours.
Yeah.
So tactically, you only have 18 hours. So can you see that 18 hours, you have removed 6 hours from 24 hours, you are now juggling with 18 hours. Young people, your young age is not for sleeping. It is the sad truth, but it is. If you want to be at the top there, I was hearing that Dangote sleeps for only 18 hours, 19 hours. Sorry, he works for 18 hours, 19 hours. And he only has time to rest. Adjust intervals. Sometimes he sleeps in the plane. So that time you're looking at Dangote, he's hardly sleeping because there is somewhere he's going to. There is something he's saying in his front. He has a vision. He has somewhere that he's going to. And that should guide you. That should lead you. So this is just it might not work for you. If you want to sleep from 12 to 6, it's okay. But it has worked for me over time. And I've seen it as it has also helped me, because the more you sleep, the more you want to sleep. I don't know why I'm emphasizing on sleep, but the more you sleep, the more you want to sleep. So if you don't want to be in that, if you want to be out there, you have to cut out your sleeping time. Am I saying it's not good to rest? No, it's good to rest. Rest as much as you can. But don't rest because you want to rest and sleep. You will sleep out your life.
Okay, so what she's saying is it's good to sleep, right? You are a medical practitioner, so you know that there's a role that sleep and rest plays in these things that you do. But what she's simply saying is do not oversleep. Do not be sleeping when you should be working, because this is the most productive time of your life. Okay. So if you had a full day to yourself with no responsibilities, this is just a fun question now. If you have a full day to yourself with no responsibilities, you are not doing JPI, you are not doing Bloom Women and all of that. So what would you do?
I will rest. I will take off the time and rest. Really, I will rest. I will take off the time and rest. If I have the opportunity, I will move out of town, travel to a new environment. It helps my mind a lot to think. Yes, you can just breathe. You can meet new people. I can travel to meet family out there, just meet new faces and just explore. So really, I will take out the time to rest.
So what's one thing that people would be surprised to find out about Priscilla?
One fun thing or one new thing.
Many things.
Okay, I love my local meals. Yes, I love my local meals. Is you know when you see people out there, basically those things they like to eat is rice, those good things. I love my local meals. But my favorite food is yam. So if you want to surprise me, just give me yam. Yes, I mentioned it at an event where like yam. You mean yam? I said yes, yam. So really, yes, thank you.
Okay. This was really, 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 I don't even have the word. You are so inspiring.
Thank you.
You are so knowledgeable. And thank you for everything.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
all that you do. You know, you've heard her share her story, you've heard her share her journey, and this is to tell you that you can decide to
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
early. When you were using the Esther thing, the
Yeah.
10 years
Yeah.
challenge
Yeah.
thing, when you see people's throwback, you see where they are now, you can also tell that give this person another 10 years, you'll see the growth. So we've heard that we can be anything we want to be. Just make up your mind and go for it, because
Yeah.
it's one thing to stay wishing and it's one thing to put in the
True.
work.
True.
And as a young person, get knowledge as much
Yeah.
as you
Yeah.
can. Get knowledge from books, maybe from attending events, from the community that you have. Make sure that you are improving on yourself. The world celebrates
True.
excellence. You
True.
cannot be a mediocre,
Yeah. Yeah.
not in the way you appear, not in the way you talk, not even in the way that you do things. Because one of the things, I know that you're a person of character.
Yeah.
You have people who are actually
Yeah.
knowledgeable, they have the skill, but when it comes to character, they are not there.
Yeah.
Character, integrity, all of these things really matter, because at the end of the day, these things will add up to determine if you will get to that place that you want to get
True.
to.
True.
This was really, really an insightful conversation. Thank you very much once
Thank
again for
you.
gracing us with your
Thank you,
presence.
Miss
We are
Ella.
truly grateful.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone, we have come to the end of this episode of the Together We Nudge podcast. Keep following us on our social media handles at the Nudge Hub Studio on Instagram, on YouTube, and please also look forward to this to subsequent episodes. Thank you, and until next time, bye.